Okay, now let's talk about entrepreneurs. First, let's go over some of the myths about entrepreneurs. So, some of the things that are commonly said are like he's an undisciplined kid who dropped out of high school and made $1 million. And this isn't true overall. She's a sociable huckster who has no guilt and exploits friends and swindles strangers. Also, again, not true. He is somebody who gambled the family fortune on a business long shot and got lucky. Again, that's not something that's typically true. She had as a quote unquote Midas touch instinct for business and therefore does not need to be analytical. Again, not true. And the most common one I've heard lately is he'll do anything to make a dollar. Again, not true. And we're going to go over some characteristics and do a self assessment for entrepreneurs. So let's go over some characteristics of entrepreneurs. The first one is having confidence in his or her abilities, resources, and accountability. It's about having the creativity to question, but also the strength to believe and the courage to move. Next one is involving others in a business concept. To be a successful entrepreneur, you have to have a passion for learning from customers, employees, and even competitors. So you have to involve others. Let's put the next two together. Has a grasp on reality, even the parts that are uncertain, and is a moderate risk taker. So being an entrepreneur is like heading out into uncharted territory. You have to have an idea of what's going on, the sense of reality, while also understanding that you're going to a place where you may not know all the ups and downs, lefts and rights. Let's go over a couple more. Has a low need for status and power. Actually, entrepreneurship is the persistent progression toward innovative solution to a key problem, not so much trying to gain status or power. It's the constant hunger for making things better and the idea that you're never satisfied with how things are. Again, that's steering away from anything like status and power. Is reliable and acts with integrity. So things that take determination and a strong focus gets you a great end goal. It's determination and with strong focus. That makes yourself reliable and makes you a person of integrity. A person maintains a success orientation. So what sets the entrepreneur apart is that successful orientation. It's taking that courage, and sometimes it seems a little reckless, but they actually are working toward success rather than a specific goal. Is opportunity and goal oriented. Entrepreneurship is seeing an opportunity and gathering the resources to turn a possibility into a reality. It represents the freedom to envision something new and make it happen. It includes risk, but it also includes the reward of creating a legacy. Let's go through an example entrepreneur self-assessment. So here's a couple questions you need to ask yourself. Do I have the personality, the temperament, and the mindset of taking on the world on my own terms? Meaning, do I have the personality to be successful? Do I have the required ambiance and resources to devote all my time to this venture? You don't want to, depending on your entrepreneurial idea, you don't want to be split into too many ways and trying to lead too many, initiatives. Do I have an exit plan ready with a clearly defined timeline in case my venture doesn't work out? So sometimes things do not work out, and you got to have an idea of when you're going to call it quits and how you're going to exit the venture or the initiative. So kind of moving forward with that, you have to have a concrete plan for the next number of months. You'll face challenges all the way from the beginning to the end due to family, financial, and other commitments. Do you have a plan to mitigate those challenges so that you can still maintain a focus on your entrepreneurial idea? Do you have the required network to seek help and advice as needed? It's a good thing to have a mentor within the realm of what you're doing, whether that's a mentor of entrepreneurial mentor or a mentor within the field at which you're trying to create that entrepreneurial idea. Have you identified and built bridges with experienced mentors to learn from their expertise is another thing you could ask. So if you haven't done that now, maybe you could start building those relationships. Have you prepared the rough draft of a complete risk assessment, including dependencies on external factors? It's a good idea to understand all the risk going into your idea. All right, so let's move on a little bit further down the line with this self-assessment. Have you realistically assessed the potential of your new product or idea and how it will figure into the market? Is your offering going to make a replacement of an existing product or expand on it? And if so, how will your competitors react to that? To keep things secure, does it make sense to get it or secure a patent? Can you even wait that long depending on what your idea is and how it figures into the market? Have you identified your target customer base for the first phase? How about the scalability if it really turns out real well and you want to scale it up pretty quickly? And then finally, what are your sales and distribution channels for the near term and the long term? These are all things that you need to consider as far as your self-assessment and your idea. To conclude here, most entrepreneurs continually improve and innovate in ways that benefit their customers, clients, and guests. Innovation is a big aspect of entrepreneurship. Most entrepreneurs help improve the financial position of whatever they're working with, whether that's their own personally owned business, whether they're working for a nonprofit, the government agency or department, or if they're in a commercial sector. That concludes our presentation on entrepreneurs.